Hey guys, Tuesday, July 16. Let's see what the Black Widow has for us, US pre-market open. So far, volume, Black Widow has been in control. Very bearish. Bears are in control with the Black Widow. And it's just pushing lower and it's taking a lot of key levels here. This is the market profile 3 months. And we taken out value area lows. Now these are areas that I'm watching when the market profile at different time frames. You can see this area right here. There's one right here and one right here. So far we've stalled at 214. So let's see what we have here in the chart. So I'm going to go straight to the simple glance chart. We're right below the 100 moving average, is around 217. We cracked the cloud. The Kumo cloud already in the future is looking bearish and short-term weakness. I mean, it's just weak. You know, we've broken the 45 scale chart angle, which is what 263-ish around there. And again, theory was saying once you do that, you're more on the weaker side, and we can see that already playing out. The MACD hasn't gone negative yet. It almost did it on the 15th and the 16th. This is where we're at, and it still hasn't gone negative. Let's go into our geometry. You can see we have our angle on the APF, Andrew's Pitchfork, and we haven't kissed that yet. So maybe that's good. But I would like it to kiss it, if anything, because that way I can see that this is going to hold, and you get your 50% from another swing point there. Let's go through this really quick. Our channels from these I'd say three pivots, we're finding support at the 75, which is the like the light blue. And so far it kissed it, bounced off it today, and it looks like maybe this could hold, but too early to tell. FT levels, we cracked 225. Hopefully we should regain that. And that could probably be a bullish sentiment, but so far that hasn't played out. Our Gann grid with the second impulse wave of 3.5, you can see that this is the 1x3. This is the 1x4 here. And we're finding support so far right now here. Anything else? Let's see. I pretty much covered a lot. Gap fill for the bears. So if you think, you know what, we're going to fill this gap before we do anything, then stay short, because that's very possible. It's part of the equation of probability. Some people say, well, sometimes these gaps don't get filled. Well, this is probably one that might probably get filled, and that's why we're pushing lower on the hunt to continue going down. So keep that in mind if you want to be bullish, that this could probably want to get filled. Maybe once you get here, maybe this is where all the bulls will show up, but that's just me speculating. But just keep this in mind as the curveball in the analysis. There's a high probability it wants to all go all the way down here to get this and then bounce. If it bounces, we'll never know. But that is a possible target. Measured move, nothing really there. We didn't do the 712. My SO, today's dead date, which is, I made these brighter too, 716, possible turning point in this little range. This one didn't work out. So the yellow one, and then if that doesn't work out, and we kind of go sideways to lower, I'm going to be looking at August 2nd. But today is one of these days that I find interesting. I think that's it. Swing chart. This is the 152 date that I'm watching. And then swing date, so far we are minus 32% from this high. 34 days in from the low, and 23 bars, not counting today. 17. So 16, 17, I'm watching to see what's going to happen. Statistically, today is an up day, but lately it hasn't been working out. So let's go to our midpoint chart. So far, we are hovering, actually below the moving average. MACD is still negative. Stokes unwinding. And the monthly level chart, we already broke this key level, so we're in no man's land in regards to pivots. So pretty much all these are all market profile I'm watching, and the Stokes are kind of sideways trying to creep in here. So it's kind of early, maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna just say. I'm just gonna wait till I get something like this here on the daily chart. Then things will probably start looking a little better, but it's too early to tell. It's just very quiet. The 4 hour so far our 214 pivot, which is the weekly. This is the last leg of support in regards to my pivots here. And so far we have found support here. If it goes down and then bounces and kind of goes sideways and hold, this is looking pretty good. And the Mobos is not positive yet, but it's creeping in. We need to at least close above minus 0.0784. I want to see something like this on the 4 hour and everything spreading to the upside. And on the hourly, before everybody even goes to the hourly, bigger targets would be 220. That's your next reasonable target if we're going to push higher on the 4 hour, which is the weekly. And this is my 1 hour chart using daily pivots. So far 214, PPS buy signal, reasonable target is 218. Your midpoint for today will be 221. So we could get up there 221 in the US session, and there's not a bear trap or a bull trap, and it doesn't go back down, and it kind of stays above there, or at least goes sideways, but at least hovering around this 221. That could be possible or positive. But so far, kind of early to tell. This is positive, but the hourly charts is a lot of back and forth. So this is the line in the sand for today. So if we were to speculate, I can't, extreme will probably be 225. That'll take us, at least to the 315 degree on the square of 9. So anywhere between here and here could possibly play out. 226, 225, as long as we could close above 221. But if we can close above there, then it's probably going to test this 214. And worst case scenario, if it wants to go lower, pivots to the downside. If you want to go short, will be 211 all the way to 207. And that's just for today in the US session. Lastly, the square of 9. I got really surprised with this move. The 214 lining up with the April 14 low, but it makes sense. Let's say they want to push it lower, 211, all the way to 205 to 204. 205, 204, more push to the downside. But if 211 holds, just a 215, then maybe back to 218. Remember that 221 is this right here, your midpoint right there. And 225. So these are your 221, 225, 218, and 211. Key levels for this range right here. If we're going to go back and forth, those are besides all the ones I've showed you, here and all that, but on the square of 9, this is what I would look at. And if we take out 211, then 205 to 204, that's your 180 degree right here, and then see what happens. And if 204 doesn't hold, you could probably go to 200 all the way to 197. Worst case scenario, I've been doing some, analysis, Gann theory, mathematics. Worst case scenario, if this thing wants to find a target, I would say the target would be between the gap fill. I would say anywhere between 184, 187, and 190. So this area right here, it could probably be heading towards here. And once it probably gets there in regards to timing. So if today doesn't work out, and they just want to go sideways or do a head fake and continue pushing lower, and it wants to find a destination, one, it will fill the gap fill, and it will fulfill some other kind of techniques that I see that, you know, price could be attracted to this area. Anywhere between 184 and 187. And this is one of Gann's theory that I could see it getting attracted to. So just know that there's a lot of risk involved. This is not financial advice. Just know that the Black Widow, when she gets her drink on, she gets wild and nasty, and she could just keep pushing lower. So you always have to be double-minded and look at the positives and the negatives. What's the worst case I see? It going all the way down here. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we have a turning point. Maybe this 214 holds, but man, if she really wants to dig into your skin and turn on the heat in the kitchen, you know, and you're long, man, it's just rough. That's why I always tell everybody, put your stops, because you're either going to be right or be right out. I'm looking at my short on the pound. I'm double guessing myself, and I was like, did I do a right trade? I said, I got my stop. It's right there. If I'm wrong, pound is going to go up and I'm going to get stopped out. But I'm seeing some things with the dollar that maybe we get a bounce. You know, and I've been wrong and I've been right. So it's one of those things you just, you know, make a trade and just manage your risk. If it works out, fine. I go in my direction. If it doesn't, I get stopped out. And I have another chance to get back in the ring and fight with everybody, the algos, the computers, the traders, and everybody else that's in this pit, you know, and with the Black Widow. I'm going to sign out. Hope you liked this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.